as you can see here. So today's Tuesday and I got a lot of work today. Lately, work has been picking up. I feel like ever since using AI and Cloud Code for everything, it's making us more productive, but it's also giving us so much more work. And I feel fatigued from all of that. But first, to get the day started, just gonna make some coffee, like always. I also got my new rings here. That's just hang off of my pull-up bar. Oh my gosh, I spilled it. I spilled all my coffee beans. Gotta try this again. Okay, let's try this again. So I got this new basket here. As you can see, it's pretty nice. My previous basket got stuck in the garbage disposal and I accidentally turned that on and it just got all messed up and it doesn't even fit in this chamber here. And so I got this off Amazon. I attached this O-ring, as you can see, so that it's a better fit. It's along the lip of the basket. And I noticed it pulls the espresso a lot better. I'm happy to, make this upgrade, but it did kind of suck. It was like 30 bucks for this. I feel like it's a lot of money, but I don't know. I'm not in the coffee world too much. For those who are new here, hi, I'm Andrew. I'm a software engineer and I've been working remotely for 4 years now. I'm on a journey to build my way out of my 9-to-5 job by creating apps. What I've been really starting to respect and understand is that things change and your feeling about your job or whatever you're doing may change, and it's okay to pivot and move on to some new endeavors. But for my case, move on from my job to building apps. What kind of sucks is that I don't have a high risk tolerance, so I'm still feel the need to keep my job while building apps. I'm not someone who can really just drop my job and just go all into building apps because I like to play it safe for the most part. But at the same time, this gives me an opportunity to, do both and really work more and try this app development journey out. I know people can, quit their job and go all into their passion, but since I can do both at the same time, I don't feel the need to quit my job at this time. Maybe if my app takes off, then I would feel a little bit more comfortable quitting my job. But right now, since I don't have any traction going, I'm still in the building phase. I can still work and build my apps on the side. But anyways, this idea that I wanted to quit my job kind of stemmed from when I first started working in big tech. I started working on Amazon and I saw all the politics there and all the stress. And then I actually moved from Amazon to Salesforce within 6 months. But even at Salesforce here, there's a lot of politics and there's a lot of just big tech things that happens that makes work feel a little bit boring. I could only show up as half of myself to work every single day. And being a shell of yourself every single day for work, and for my case, for the past 4 years, it's pretty exhausting. I can't keep this up for another 4 years. That's when I knew I had to change things up and really pursue the things I really care about and live and work as the full version of myself. A lot of people are in their own situation and the economy isn't doing great right now. So I can definitely understand how I have the luxury and privilege to do this. But in whatever situation that you're in, you can make the change for yourself and pursue whatever you want to pursue. But yeah, that's a little backstory of why I'm creating apps and having this as a way to escape my 9-to-5 job. It's still a long journey for me, but I do have some updates I want to share with you guys later in this video on how my app is doing. So stay tuned for that. But yeah, now just gonna continue some work.
Dame rap callejero, dámelo del bueno, dámelo sincero que sacas del bajo cero. Se prendió la party, parece un hormiguero. Se apagan las luces y salen todos los cueros. Jungla de concreto, aquí te gana tu respeto. De de ratas. Está repleto este sistema y su libreto.
Okay, so I don't usually do this, but I'm gonna get some takeout for lunch. There's a $5 discount, so I wanted to take advantage of that. I'm just gonna pick that up now. I wanted to give you guys an update on my app and how much I've done and where I'm at with it. Over the past few weeks, I implemented the pro features and actually gated that so that only pro users are able to use it. And with that, I had to implement some backend database logic so we can tell who's the free users versus the pro users. So let me show you guys where it's at right now. So this is one of my test accounts, but as you can see, I can go into my settings. Since it's a free account, there's a message here to upgrade to Pro. You unlock the auto start, 8 more categories that you can create, the exports of your metrics, and 4 other cherry blossom trees. And as you can see here, the auto start is gated. It's usually a toggle like one of these, but it's a lock here only for pro users. So if I go into my metrics, I can see my metrics. I can see today, I didn't do any sessions today, but you can see that. And then you can have a yearly view as well. And I decided to go with this heat map kind of style because that's something I like personally. The darker the colors are in the square boxes, the more sessions that you've done. So these are just a few features that I implemented for pro users. I still need to implement and finish up the payment process. So from when users pay for the subscription and how it populates in the database and how it shows up here. There's still a lot for me to do. I also need to work on the design. That's a pretty big part of this project is how the trees look. You definitely don't want to design something that's too clunky or has too much. I personally feel like I have enough features so that I'm not overcomplicating the user, but also enough to keep them engaged. But time will tell. If the users don't like that, then I'll have to adjust. But so far, for me personally, it looks pretty good. One thing that I'm facing right now is designing the trees, sakura, cherry blossom trees, and the different species. I've asked Claude, Gemini, and ChatGPT on what path to take if I don't want to pay for freelance designers. And they've all recommended to use Midjourney or some AI photo generator application to get an idea of what you're looking for. And then you can go from there and use recraft.ai to actually generate the SVG. And if you want to take it further, you can use Figma to actually, refine the SVG images. I honestly think the design is going to be so much work and headache. I've already spent a lot of time trying to get what I really wanted, but maybe my prompts I put into the Midjourney or the Recraft AI isn't sufficient enough. I should be a little bit more detailed, but I've been playing around with that. The design of these trees have been really taking a lot of my time, but I think the theme of this app is pretty big and what ties it together. So I definitely need to spend more time, making sure all the design actually looks good. Okay, I have my team meeting in a little bit here. Just gonna do that and then get my workout in. I do want to try out my rings again. It's been a while. So I didn't meal prep this week. I didn't have time over the past weekend. Today I'm gonna meal prep the chicken that I have here. And I think that's gonna be good for, a week or so. Summer's already here, so I'm planning to eat a lot less and healthier so that I can actually have that summer bod. Never really had one in my life, but every summer's a chance to get that summer body. Just gonna meal prep, have some dinner, and then continue working on my app. Okay, so I wanted to just give an update on my design so far and my workflow on how I'm getting these SVG images for my app. The first resource I use, as I mentioned before, is Midjourney to just get an idea of how I want it to look like. So for example, I wanted the cherry blossom as an SVG, and I went to Midjourney and typed in some different prompts to kind of generate this. And Midjourney is a pretty abstract, image generator. You can create really cool images and really complex images, nothing that you could have imagined. So forcing Midjourney to scale down on the simplicity of the image was actually pretty tough. It did an okay job to create really simplistic, images, but it wasn't as good as I thought it would be. Fix the lighting here. But after playing around, I got a rough image that I wanted to turn into an SVG. So let me show you guys what I got so far. Okay, so as you can see, this is the original image that was generated by Midjourney. I wanted to turn that into this image here. This is Recraft AI, which allows me to do that. You can see at the top left here, it's a vector image. So I got that done. Essentially, take this image and you go to vectorize here, convert it to an actual vector SVG, and then you get this. And if you inspect this SVG more, you can go to adjust colors. You can see it consists of only 8 colors, and you can also adjust the colors themselves. Because I realized that mobile and web apps really prefer, simple SVGs that consist of only a few colors and are geometrically simple. If you take like an actual image and convert that to an actual SVG with vectors, then it becomes a really large SVG file, and that makes the loading process of the image a lot slower compared to a really simple and less detailed image. So performance does play a big role, but keeping things simple is a lot more attractive as well. I'm not a designer, and I definitely don't want to dive into design too much, but learning all this is just part of the entrepreneurship journey. Finding ways to optimize the resources that I have and create these images is just one part of the problem that I got to solve for this app. And doing this is kind of what I signed up for, creating apps and becoming your own solopreneur. You kind of have to wear all these different hats and make sense of what you really want and what value you're providing through these different hats. Right now, I'm wearing my designer hats, and it just makes me wonder if I should, really dive deep. One of the things I struggle with personally is, getting down into the weed of things sometimes and just losing focus on the bigger picture. I don't want to, get into that hole again, because that can lead me taking different paths and eventually losing time. So I try my best to take a step back and kind of evaluate if the work that I'm doing now is going to contribute to the bigger picture in a more valuable way. So yeah, just gonna work on this for the rest of the evening. I also created a Discord server. It's kind of bare right now, but there will be a link in the description for you to join. And it's just a place for everyone to share their thoughts about software engineering, tech, solopreneurship, creating apps, and a whole bunch of other stuff. So feel free to join that. I'll be working on this for the rest of the night. Stay tuned for more videos. Thank you for tuning in, and I'll see you in the next one.